What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're well. Today is Saturday. It's another beautiful day here in Bali. The sun is shining. Just went for a beach walk this morning. I've had a couple of coffees and I'm highly caffeinated, ready to get into today's topic. Now, if you watched any of my recent videos, you'll know for the past week I haven't trained now. I've had a full week off because I've been sick. But what if you're in a situation where you've had longer off? You know, maybe you've had a month off, maybe you've had 2 months, 3 months, maybe even a year or more. What if you've had a long extended period of time off? How do you come back? How should you come back? And how can you do it in the most efficient way to make the most amount of gains possible and without risk of just, you know, making yourself quit or getting injuries or whatever? Let's dive into it. Now, for sure, I know this is not the answer you're going to want, but you've got to ease into it, because when I was younger, when I was less committed, you know, I would train for a while and then I would go on a holiday or something like that. I wouldn't train on a holiday. I would come back and it would take me a while to get into it. And then when I was ready to go back, I would just try and pick off where I ended, like, so I'll try and say this another way. I'd try and start where I ended last time. Where it ended last time, obviously I built up to that over a period of months or whatever. You're not going to be able to go back in first day and lift what you lifted before, okay? It's just not going to happen. And even if you could do that, even if you can do that, I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it at all, because you're going to, if you haven't done it for a while, the muscle memory is not going to be there, but also the signals from the central nervous system to your muscles, the CNS holding patterns, right? They're going to be sort of like not as it's not going to feel as natural. So that's why if you've had to take a time off the gym and you go in and say you do some dumbbells, you might be a little, or barbell, you might be a little bit more shaky than normal, and that's just because you haven't done it for a while, and that's completely normal. But if you are in this situation, it's a very bad idea to go back and just smash the gym. I know that's what you want to do. That's what I want to do as well. I just want to go back in there. All right, I've had some time off. Let's get back into it. Let's make some gains. But do not do that. Do not do that. It's the worst possible thing you could do. I've done that in the past and got injuries. And even when I've done that and not got injuries, long term, I will have actually made less progress because of about some things that I'm going to go into. Now, as always, I have some notes, okay, just so I don't forget anything. I've got 3 tips that you should do, and then also I'll explain the reason behind them, okay? So if you've had more than a month off the gym, this is, well, it depends how long you've had, but a month or more. If it's been a year, then you need to definitely follow this. If it's only been a month, you can just take some of these basic principles. Okay, so the overarching theme though is you need to ease yourself back in. Do not do what I see a lot of people do, is that it comes round to January, new year, new me, they go in the gym and they just kill it. They just kill themselves the first week. They're doing an hour cardio every single day. They're doing weights. They're doing absolutely everything. And by the end of the first week, their body is fucked. They're in bits and they're like, I don't know whether this is for me. Do not make that mistake. You've got to ease yourself back in. So what would I recommend? Well, first thing is, if you have not been doing any lifting at all, just lift 3 times a week. I would do cardio every single day. I would still go to the gym every single day. I actually made another video about this, which I'll link somewhere around here, about doing stuff every day. I would still go to the gym or do some form of movement every single day, but I would only lift weights 3 times per week. Let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example. And a good split you could do, it would be push-pull legs. So I would do push-pull legs Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next thing is your working sets, okay? So you're going to have warm-up sets, and then you're going to have your actual working sets. Because you've had a lot of time off, you don't need to go in and be doing 4 or 5 sets or whatever, okay? I would start off, first week, I would just do 1 working set, to be honest. Just keep it nice and simple, maybe a couple of warm-up sets, and then 1 working set. And for that set, excuse me, reps, I would go high reps, okay? You don't want to be going low reps. You don't want to be trying to hit PRs. You don't want to be, you know, really going balls to the wall or anything like that. Ease yourself back in. And what I would do is I would do 20 reps. I would pick a weight that I can do 20 reps for, which would be 5 reps away from failure. Okay, so if you don't understand that term, basically you want to have, like, you want to pick a weight where you could do 25, but 25 would be to absolute failure, but you're just doing 20. Okay, and then what you would do is every week you would just up the variables. Let's say first week that's what you do. Next week you do maybe you pick a weight that you can do 20 reps for again, but maybe you only have like 3 reps from failure, and then you go 1 rep from failure, and then maybe you pick a weight that you can only do 15 reps for. So gradually, as you go on, you kind of progressively overloading, and that is the main theme that I want to talk about here. And besides from just going back and hitting the gym hard, right, you're at a much more likelihood of getting injured because your CNS is not developed, you don't have the muscle memory there, but also your tendons and ligaments, your muscles grow faster than your tendons and ligaments. Everything is not going to be used to the stress that you used to put on your body before, so you just want to ease yourself back in. But also, the main thing that you want to consider here is when you train, when you lift weights, you're actually creating micro tears, micro damage. Okay, when you're actually in the gym lifting and you're doing a weight, okay, there's mini tears that are occurring in the muscle, okay, and then that signals to the brain, hey, this body is not strong enough for the physical exertion that it's got to do on a day-to-day basis. We need to grow stronger so we can, so we're able to deal with this like workload. Okay, so then you rest, and then obviously the muscle grows back a little bit stronger. The more you lift and the more weight you try and push and the more volume that you do, okay, the more damage that you're going to do, and the longer it's going to take for you to recover. So a big principle in bodybuilding especially is you want to get the most amount of progress from the least amount of work. Same with the food. I want to get the most amount of progress from the least amount of food, because eventually you're going to have to push that food up if you're in a bulking phase, right? Same in a fat loss phase. You want to get the most amount of fat loss from the smallest reduction in calories. And it's the same thing with your training, especially if you're not been for a while. If you can make gains doing 1 set per muscle group, do 1 set per muscle group. Why would you do 3? Because eventually you're going to have to go to 4 and go to 5 and go to 6. If you start off at 5 sets per muscle group, right, where are you going to go from there? You know, you're going to progressively overload to 7 or 10 sets. So you know what I mean? Like, it's really important to be able to get the most amount of growth from the least amount of damage, from the least amount of work. And there's a lot of benefits to this, okay? Because it's going to be less taxing on your body. Your brain's going to function better because there's going to be less inflammation. You're going to be less sore, okay? So if you're at a point where you go to the gym and you're not sore, okay, you're not sore, you don't have a pump, well, there's a good sign that you maybe need to increase the intensity, maybe you need to lift, maybe you need to increase the volume. But if you go in, right, and you've not trained for a year, I know if I hadn't trained for a year and I go in the gym, 1 working set per muscle group, not per muscle group, but per exercise, right? Okay, so say if I was doing biceps, I might have 3 exercises. I would do 1 working set for each. If I did that, I would definitely not need any more to get some growth. And eventually, I would progressively overload over time. If you have had some time off, I got some good news for you, because there's something called muscle memory. And I don't know how this works, but anyone who's had some time off and come back to the gym knows that it does work. Is that you'll make gains and you'll get to that point that where you were at before so much faster. It's like your body remembers, hence the term muscle memory, of, you know, what your sort of physique and what your capabilities were like beforehand, and you can just get there a lot quicker. So I'm excited for you, because if you do everything that's outlined in this video and you follow a plan and you remain consistent and you don't take long breaks off, excuse me, you're going to make a really, really good amount of progress, okay? So the last thing that I want to talk about is just to think long term, okay? I know right now you've had some time off, you're probably agitated, maybe it's an injury, maybe it's a sickness, maybe it's just, you know, life got in the way, and now you really want to come back and you just want to hit it hard. You've got to think more long term, okay? Because building a physique is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, it takes days, it takes months, it takes years, you know, to get into the best shape of your life. You're not going to do it in a single session, so don't try and kill yourself. First week back, do not go all out attack. Think more strategically, okay, step by step by step. And that is how you're going to make the most amount of progress, and that is how you can really reach your potential. Now, if you want some help with this, if you want to work with someone, you can work with me one-on-one. We can formulate your training, your nutrition, everything to get you on track. You know exactly what you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. You can head to jamessweetland.com for coaching. And other than that, if you enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.